Hey guys, welcome back to Dibs on Half with me, Gabby. And today we are gonna be making some bomb ass grilled cheese. Yes, as you can tell by the title, we are making dun 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 spinach artichoke dip grilled cheese. I know, mind blown, right? This thought came to me because I was hanging out with my friend P, dedicating this video to her. We were hanging out one night a couple weeks ago and she ordered spinach artichoke dip from a restaurant, and they called her back and told her they were out of spinach artichoke dip, and we could not think of anywhere else at the time for her to order some, and she was just like craving it hardcore. So I came home and I was like, you know what? Spinach artichoke dip is good, but spinach artichoke dip grilled cheese like sounds so freaking fire. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Go ahead and leave a comment. I will give back to you. Let me know what is your favorite sandwich, because this one is pretty freaking good. First thing that we're gonna do is turn our oven on 450. And you're gonna wanna stick the pan that you're gonna make the grilled cheese on in the oven, because you want it to be super, super hot when you make the grilled cheese. So we're not gonna leave the pan out and stick the grilled cheese on the pan and then stick it in the oven. No, we need a super hot pan in the oven. So I'm using cast iron today because, you know, if you watch my last video, I love cast iron. If you don't have cast iron, just use like anything you would put like a pizza on to cook. So 450. So right now is probably the hardest part of the dish, and it's the spinach portion. So what you're gonna wanna do is get a pot of water and stick it on your stove, and get a strainer and stick it on top of the pot of water. And you don't want the water touching the strainer, so don't stick too much. Just stick enough so that the steam rises and hits the spinach. So I'm gonna take a handful of spinach and just throw it in there. And if you've never used spinach in a dish before, or you're like new to cooking and looking up recipes, spinach cooks down to basically nothing. So I can put this whole bag in here and it'll be like a cup of spinach. So just think of that when you're making this. I'm putting a handful because I'm only gonna make enough grilled cheese for myself. But as always, the ingredients are in the description below, and I will be putting the recipe for just one grilled cheese, and I'll also add in there the recipe if you want to make it for like your family, so a bigger portion. And I'm gonna crack open this hard seltzer here because I like to drink and cook. Who doesn't? Also, for the spinach portion of this preparation here, we're gonna need to grab a bowl full of cold water, and then we're gonna make it extra cold by putting ice cubes in it, because once this spinach is nice and cooked, we're gonna throw it in this ice bath to stop the cooking process, and this is called blanching. While the spinach is cooking, I'm gonna start chopping up my artichokes. So these are artichoke hearts. Find them at your local grocery. And I'm gonna take about 3 heads of them, and I'm just gonna chop them up as fine as I can. Or if you like chunky, leave it a little chunky. Artichokes are all chopped, and I'm just going to throw them in a bowl here. You also need cream cheese, and you know what I love about cream cheese is they have the ounces already labeled on the packaging, so it makes it super easy. So I'm gonna need 1 ounce of that. Don't forget to move your spinach around, because the stuff at the bottom of the strainer is gonna cook faster than the stuff at the top. So just give it a little swirl. So I'm gonna add the cream cheese to the bowl with the artichokes, like so. And then what else do we need? 1 tablespoon of sour cream. You're also gonna need 1 tablespoon of mayo. At this point, the spinach looks pretty cooked. Now it's time to throw it in the ice bath. And then just make sure you kind of swirl it just so it gets cold right away. There you go. And then in a minute, we're gonna strain that back out. But for now, set it off to the side. You guys ever wonder, like, is your stove broke? Why don't you use your stove? I use that little burner thing because it's just better a filming area instead of going over there and like there's walls and a fridge and you can't really like film that great over there. So that's why I do it here. But anyway, let's get back to the actual dip part. So I got 1 ounce cream cheese. Sorry, I'm looking at my little recipe book here. 1 ounce cream cheese, 1 tablespoon sour cream, 1 tablespoon mayo, and then 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder. This is like the perfect comfort food too, because just a grilled cheese sandwich on a cold day in fall, oh my God, can it get any better? Going to need 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And I like to get the good Parmesan, not like the Kraft stuff. Like I want the real stuff, like preferably from Italy. My husband tried to tell me that there's this Parm, Sarvecchio Parm from America, and it's good. And I bought it, and I bought Parm from Italy. You could tell the difference. I'm sorry, but Italy has won the Parm game. And why shouldn't they? Parm comes from Italy. You're trying to tell me get American Parmesan. No, why would you do that? No. I'm over here talking all this crap about Parmesan from Italy, but look at what mozzarella I got. Freaking Sargento mozzarella. I need to really stop talking crap. But well, they didn't have any like really good shredded mozzarella at my grocery store, so I had to get this kind. So I need, what is this? 2 tablespoons of shredded mozzarella, and I got the fine shreds. Now I just need to add a pinch of salt and a few grains of pepper. I like a lot of pepper in mine, so I'm gonna do like 5 turns of this. And then lemon. I need a knife. I'm just going to squeeze this in here. Now it's time to get the spinach. So I'm just gonna grab it right out the water. Forget the strainer. You don't need a strainer, use your hands. And just throw it on some paper towel. It's really cold though. So I'm going to use 2 paper towels and I'm just gonna squish it. And I'm actually, you see this? I'm just gonna squeeze it in the paper towel just to get all that moisture out of this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this up. And after it's all nice and chopped up, I'm gonna add it to the bowl, but it's all like smushed together, so I'm kind of just gonna like separate a little bit, you know? Try to pull it apart with my little fingertips here. And that took a little bit of time, so this, hairs, man. That took a little bit of time, so this cream cheese should be good and almost room temp, which is better. Room temp stuff, when you cook it, is better. You know why? Because if you cook something that's already at room temp, it's more likely it's gonna get hot all the way through. That's why when you cook meat, you leave it on the counter for an hour before you actually stick it in the oven. Because like if you cook a steak and you take it right out the fridge and just throw it in the oven, that steak is gonna be cold in the middle. Nobody wants that. That does not sound appetizing. So room temp is like your best friend. Just gonna squish it and just get rough with it. It's all gonna get melted together anyways. Doesn't have to be like perfect. If you don't know me in real life and you're watching this channel, thank you. But I have worked in a lot of restaurants in my life, and all of my favorite sandwiches I've ever eaten at a restaurant has been on Texas toast. So when I make a grilled cheese, I love Texas toast. And it's also great for like French toast. I mean, it's white bread, but super thick. And it's so good for making sandwiches. I have a really good grilled cheese sandwich. I might make that soon. If you want to see how I make my favorite grilled cheese sandwich, let me know in the comments below, because I would be more than happy to show you guys what my favorite grilled cheese sandwich is. And you're like, hey man, grilled cheese, like, it's pretty basic. No, you can make grilled cheese all sorts of ways. So I'm just gonna butter both sides of this bread. Like I said, you're gonna have a heart attack after you eat this sandwich. And I always leave my butter out at room temp because you can, it's safe, it's fine. And it makes it so much easier to use. Like, imagine if this butter was cold and I'm trying to spread it over this sandwich. It's not gonna work out. So you just want a thin layer on this sandwich bread. I'm gonna do both pieces. You know how you know this is a good sandwich? Is I feel like I am partially like lactose intolerant. Cheese and me do not go well together, and I will eat this. Some things in life, they're worth the pain, and this sandwich is definitely one of them. So you got both sides of the bread buttered. I'm gonna wash my hands now. Okay, got my nice hot pan in there. Remember, this is supposed to be at 450. Don't judge my oven. I know it's a little dirty, and I'm just gonna throw this right on there. You hear that sizzle? So the bread is gonna brown on the bottom really quick. So you're gonna wanna check it periodically, like every 5 seconds, because you don't wanna burn it. All right, let's check on it. Ooh, that's like perfect. Look at how beautifully golden brown this bread is. The smell of buttered bread is so good. So we're gonna wanna flip it so the brown side is facing up, and then we're gonna put dollops of spinach artichoke dip on both sides of the browned bread side. Now we're gonna take this and stick it back in the oven. And again, check it within like every 5 seconds because you don't want to burn it. And the reason I like to do it in the oven is because I feel like it melts the cheese on top a lot better than if you cook it on top of the stove. All right, let's take it out. Can we just take a second to appreciate that golden color of this grilled cheese sandwich? My mouth is watering. And I'm just gonna cut it in half. Does anybody prefer, like, have a preference of how they cut their sandwiches? I always like to cut them into 2 triangles. Some people like to cut it into 2 big rectangles. Is that weird? I feel like it tastes better when it's cut into triangles. Thank you so much for watching. If you decide to make this, let me know how much you love it, because I know you will.